Hello, dear listener. Tonight, we're embarking on a serene journey through tales of quiet wonder and gentle landscapes. From a peaceful morning at moss-covered ruins to a starlit reverie beneath blossoming trees, we'll explore the soothing murmur of a sunlit veranda and the tranquil shade of Honeycomb Hills. Let these comforting stories wrap around you like a soft, warm blanket. Settle in, relax, and let yourself drift into a restful slumber. Sweet dreams. In a secluded corner of the world, where time seemed to have taken a gentle pause, there lay a curious old structure hidden by the vibrant embrace of nature. These were the moss-covered ruins, nestled on a gentle rise amidst an evergreen forest that whispered the secrets of yesteryears. Here, the air was cool and moist, saturated with the scent of pine and aged stones slowly returning to the earth. It was a place of serene enchantment. In the earliest light of morning, a soft fog lingered amongst the trees like an ethereal gauze, muting colors to a delicate pastel that spoke only of tranquility. The ruins woke slowly, shedding the dew of the night as it caught the first dappled rays of the sun filtering through the dense canopy above. Here, every moment was an invitation to linger, to savor the gentle unfolding of the day. The structure was ancient, its original shape long lost to the whims of nature's gentle reclamation. Yet, the remaining walls still hinted at their storied past, standing proudly amidst the greenery. Soft moss and vibrant lichens blanketed the stones, their hues a tapestry of emerald and jade that brightened with the kiss of sunlight. Vines trailed lazily from the arches, their leaves rustling softly in the faint morning breeze. The ground in the courtyard of the ruins was not barren, but carpeted with a blend of soft grasses and wild flowers. Tiny blossoms peeked out from beneath the encroaching moss, dotting the verdant green with subtle splashes of color. Butterflies, like floating petals, moved languidly from flower to flower, drinking in the nectar of silence as much as the sweetness. The air was filled with the gentle hum of nature's orchestra, insects composing a background symphony of life. Birdsong accompanied this symphony, a melodic interplay that echoed through the trees. In this quiet haven, birds flitted through the air between crumbling archways and verdant thickets, their chirps and calls weaving into the fabric of rose higher, spilling more generous warmth upon the landscape. Shafts of light found their way through the leafy canopy to dance upon the stones in patches of golden warmth. There, in the center of the ruins, where the trees pulled back just enough to allow a clearing, a small stone basin filled with water lay tranquilly beneath an overhanging vine. The surface was as still as glass, reflecting the gentle shift of clouds above. Leaves from the towering trees swayed gently overhead, releasing now and then a single one to float lazily down, twirling to the ground in a wayward ballet. Their movement was so gentle and unhurried that one could easily imagine each leaf taking its time to tell its own quiet tale as it eventually came to rest upon the ground. Along the edges of the ruins, where the forest began in earnest, the trees stood tall and proud, sentinels watching over this hidden glade. Their bark, ridged and textured, was carpeted with soft moss, a testament to the years they had watched life ebb and flow around these old stones. From time to time, the faint sound of a distant brook could be heard gurgling its way through the underbrush, adding its voice to the tranquil symphony. A gentle sense of timelessness pervaded the air, as if the very essence of relaxation had found its home here among the mossy stones and whispering trees. The ruins, though crumbling, stood as a paradoxical symbol of both decay and eternal resilience, embraced tenderly by the greenery that both softened and strengthened their ancient beauty. Insects, carrying on their minute lives, moved purposefully through the grass and over stones, their world an intricate tapestry of small, meaningful moments. Nearby, a small patch of clover offered its own sweet fragrance, mixing with the earthy musk of the forest floor. Time seemed to stretch and contract here on its own whims, encouraging every visitor to follow its slow and steady pace. The ruins were a cradle of dreams, of gentle whispers carried on the wind, stories woven into the very fabric of the vines and stones. It was a place conducive to silent meditation, to the deep breath that filled the lungs and let the mind drift. The afternoon sun, continuing its arc across the pale sky, cast long, dappled shadows that mingled among the old ruins. The heat of the day was softened by the woodland canopy, which provided a cool relief in the dappled shade. The air hummed with the contentment of nature's quiet routine, of life moving at its own unhurried pace.
As the hours slipped gently past,
The world around the ruins was one of soft, inviting sounds, the rustle of leaves, the distant babble of water over smooth stones, the gentle cooing of doves resting on branches. Everything was a harmonious whisper, a soothing lullaby carried upon the wings of the wind. As twilight began to descend, the cooler breeze of early evening rustled through the canopy with a gentle murmur, a reminder of the day's end. A gathering gauze of mist began to form once again, wrapping the ruins in a cocoon of softening shadows and muted tones. Fireflies soon emerged from hidden nooks, their tiny lanterns of light dotting the twilight landscape with a mesmerizing, intermittent glow. Above the ruins, the sky slowly transformed into a vast canvas of twinkling stars, each one a distant beacon, a silvery dot against the deepening blue-black of twilight. The moon, rising majestically, bathed the moss and stone with its silvery light, adding a touch of quiet magic to the sleeping glade. The night chorus rose gently, bringing with it the intimate sounds of nocturnal life. A distant owl hooted softly in rhythmic conversation, while somewhere in the undergrowth, small creatures whispered their tales. The air carried the freshness of the post-dusk chill, a reminder of the cycle that continued with unfailing beauty. As the night deepened, the soft glow of the moon illuminated the ruins with an ethereal light. The stones, having absorbed the warmth of the day, now returned it gently as a calming presence, a comforting echo of the sun's gentle promise to return. Embedded within this peaceful setting, the inner silence grew louder, a gentle breath flowing through the ruins, inviting you to close your eyes, to inhale and exhale slowly with the rhythm of the ancient forest. Succumb to the embrace of this ancient glade, a cradle of stones woven into the forest's fold, here where time meanders slowly, encouraging rest, and in its whispers, inviting dreams. In this sacred space, the mind grows quiet, lulled by the harmony of moss and vines, of the gentle song of nature that enfolds you like a comforting blanket, a soft sigh of tranquility as your thoughts ease into sleep's gentle embrace, whispering good night, The forest's nocturnal lullaby continued as the stars above twinkled in silent conversation, their light reflecting serenely upon the stone basin, now ripples forming and fading gently across its surface as a night breeze caressed the water. The humidity of the day evaporated, replaced by a crisp, cool freshness that felt like the careful brush of silk against the skin. Within the heart of the ruins, shadows stretched languidly, drawing soft silhouettes on the ground, echoing tales of long-vanished stories and secrets held fast by these ancient stones. Fireflies danced in whimsical eyes, tracing paths through the air like tiny constellations fallen to earth, their glow harmonizing with the moonlight that spilled through the gaps in the canopy. A soft breeze ushered the scent of jasmine and damp earth, mingling with the sharp perfume of pine. Somewhere deeper in the forest, the gentle babble of the brook continued, a living stream of dreams winding its way unseen, carrying with it the forest's song. Frogs began their nightly serenade from hidden pockets of the woodland, their voices joining the symphony of night to weave a soothing, repetitive chant of contentment. In the cool comfort of the clearing, the gentle sway of branches high above was mesmerizing against the vast expanse of the sky. It was a grand, sprawling tapestry of cosmic wonder that inspired both awe and a profound sense of peace. The Milky Way stretched luxuriously across the heavens, a shimmering river of stardust whispering stories of distant places and infinite calm. Layer upon layer of moss cushioned the old stones, their soft, tactile texture inviting a caress, a testament to nature's artistry in reclaiming what once was. The vines draping from the tumbled arches swayed gently, their movements reminiscent of a slow, ancient dance, as if acknowledging the night with a quiet nod of respect. The air was alive with the tiny rustlings and hushed movements of creatures in the underbrush as the nocturnal world flourished in its silent symphony. There was a subtle magic here, a gentle vibration in the air that soothed all weariness, as if the forest itself cradled the world, incubating dreams, stories, and a profound sense of belonging. It was a place where the mind could drift like a leaf on a stream, a the concerns of the waking world. The ruins embrace invited a deeply immersive escape, a haven where one's spirit could wander into the harmonious flow of nature and time. In the heart of this tranquil scene, a small, soundless feather fluttered down from high above, spiraling lazily through the air until it settled softly upon a bed of moss. It was a token of peace from the forest, a reminder of dreams carried on the wings of quiet custodians of the night. Wrapped in this serene atmosphere, as the world turned slowly under the weight of the universe's lullaby, sleep crept in with the gentleness of a mother tucking a child in for the night. And in the still moments between breaths, when the boundary between wakefulness and dreams blurred, came the promise of rest, deep and tender, a silent guardian whispering sweetly as stars danced and shadows told their ancient tales. In this dreamy haven, every sense was lulled into peace by the gentle embrace of the night, ensuring that every heartbeat, every sigh was a step deeper into the realm of dreams. The old stones, warmed by memory and moonlight, cradled every visitor in their quiet vigil, promising a night of respite amidst the gentle, undisturbed rhythm of the natural world. And so, carried upon the whispers of rustling leaves and the gentle brush of night air, was the invitation to surrender to the stillness, to let the spirit float free amidst the beauty of starlit skies and mossy ruins, a sanctuary for the soul under the watchful gaze of moonlit dreams.
Settle in a little more and let the next story carry you somewhere peaceful. Nestled between the gentle hills and the whispering stream lies an orchard in the midst of bloom, a place where time seems to slow down so that each moment can be savored in its richness. The trees, with their boughs laden with delicate blossoms, stand like gentle sentinels under the vast canopy of the sky, their petals catching soft moonlight as it filters through the branches. As you meander through this charming grove, the air is filled with the subtle, sweet scent of blossoms. The fragrance lingers like a delicate memory, weaving through the paths and mingling with the cool, clean air that carries with it a faint promise of summer. The ground is carpeted with fallen petals, a tapestry of pink and white that cushions your every step. Each footfall is barely audible against the whispering rustle of a gentle breeze that weaves through the branches overhead. Under the starlit sky, the world seems all but asleep. The moon hangs low, a great luminous orb casting a silvery glow across the landscape. The light bathes the orchard in a soft, ethereal radiance, rendering everything in shades of ivory and shadow. Where the light touches the blossoms, it leaves them shimmering like tiny constellations scattered across the earth. It's a realm of hushed beauty, where the night is a velvet wrap holding the mere hint of a chill. As you wander further, the sound of a nearby stream accompanies your journey. The water sings a quiet melody, its gentle babbling punctuated by the occasional lyrical tumble of a small cascade. The stream snakes its way lazily through the orchard, tracing a path that invites you to follow. The air here is filled with the delicate harmony of nature, a symphony of sound that reassures and soothes. In this peaceful setting, a comfortable wooden bench rests beneath the boughs of an ancient tree. It is an inviting spot to pause and absorb the serenity all around. The bench, weathered by countless seasons, holds the stories of time within its grain. As you sit, the wood beneath you feels both firm and comforting, a steadfast anchor in the dreamy night. From this seat of calm, you can hear the gentle murmur of leaves, a language of breezes and bristle that speaks of quiet comfort. The night unfolds leisurely, as if unwilling to rush through its quiet hours. Somewhere in the distance, an owl hoots softly, its call a gentle reminder of life that stirs in the shadowed world. The stillness is profound, but within it burgeons life, unseen yet deeply felt. Above, the sky is a deep blue fabric, stitched with stars, each one shining with a light that seems to pulse with its own tranquil rhythm. The horizon blends seamlessly into the heavens, forming a dome that shelters the orchard. Every star is a companion, whispering tales from a distant past, or inspiring dreams of a future woven with serenity. It's a night meant for wishes and for hopes to be cradled gently in the arms of the universe. The orchard, too, tells its stories, not in words, but through the rustling conversations of leaves and the soft creak of tree limbs swaying lightly in the breeze.
of time, their bark a map of adventures and the folklore of seasons. Ivy curls around their trunks, and moss creeps up in gentle sways, adding rich texture to the landscape. As you walk once more, the grass beneath your feet is lush, each blade pressing back against the soft sole of your foot with a tender resilience. Here and there, small patches of wildflowers shyly nod their heads, their colors muted under the cloak of night, yet promising vibrancy with the dawn. The fragrance of the flowers mingles with the crisp scent of the running stream and the heady perfume of the blooming trees, creating an array of aromas that swirl gently around you. You follow the stream until it widens into a small pond that catches the starlight on its surface like liquid silver stretched out in repose. Frogs, unnoticed until now, sing quietly from the shallows, a nocturnal choir serenading the moonlit water. The air here is cooler, and the sensation of the breeze is sharper. It dances over the water and carries with it whispers of far-off places. You feel both present in the moment and connected to the broad expanse of the universe. Starlight reflects upon the gentle ripples, and it seems as though the cosmos has descended into the earth, making this timid pool its mirror. It's a place where reality itself feels porous, where dreams and reality flirt at the edges of perception. Time is a gentle dream here, the seconds slipping away like leaves afloat on the gentle current. Around the pond, the orchard sprawls with a grace that speaks of both wildness and cultivation.
Paths meander in comfortable twists and turns, encouraging exploration, yet nothing feels hurried or overly structured. It's a space designed by both human hands and nature's own skill, a perfect marriage of order and chaos that results in profound peace. As you wander further back toward the heart of the orchard, the cool chill of the night is softened by a warm breeze, fragrant with the scent of ripe earth and the promise of summer fruit. Here, in the depth of night, everything feels possible. It is a world of infinite potential lying tranquil beneath the canvas of the sky. You find yourself back at the bench once more, and as you settle down, the gentle crackle of dry leaves underfoot reminds you of simpler times, moments of childhood ease when leaves could be piles to jump into, or secret treasures of hidden notes. The night deepens around you, its velvet enveloping the orchard in a comforting hush. The stars above twinkle in a slow waltz with clouds, a silent dance of dreamy movement. In such quietude, the idea of time stretches, not dwindling but expanding, each moment a lingering grace note to be savored. There is no need to hurry. The night offers itself in expansive generosity, and you are a faithful receptor of its gifts. You close your eyes, only to open them again, to find the world around you unchanged, yet somehow fresh and new, as if the previous moments were only a gentle prelude. Soon, a light mist begins to coil its way through the low valleys of the orchard, adding a soft, tactile quality to the air. This mist twines around the trunks of the trees and lays across your skin like an ethereal embrace. With each breath, the world feels tangible and dreamlike, real yet ethereal, a paradox of sleeping and waking. The night holds all in a seamless embrace. Every moment is felt deeply and experienced fully, anchoring you to the quietude and gentle cadence of the world at rest, where stars keep their nightly vigil and the earth dreams beneath them. You find yourself steeped in the rich tapestry of silence, the mist offering layers of mystery and magic to your serene surroundings. The whispering night calls out soft murmurs from the stream, the frail melodies intertwining with leaves that rustle like gentle waves. Beneath the canopy of ancient trees, you feel cradled, as if the world itself is holding its breath in sleepy anticipation. The stillness conveys a profound sense of belonging, deepening as the moon continues its measured arc across the sky. It peers through the branches like a watchful guardian, its cool glow creating dapples of silvery light that dance upon the ground. As you gaze up, the constellations seem to twinkle knowingly, their eternal vigils imparting a sense of continuity and timelessness to this tranquil night. In this balm of silence, the thoughts
gently, each one a delicate thread drifting away into the soothing dark. The concerns of the day, frenetic and consuming, dissipate like morning mist under the tender brilliance of first light. You find solace in the simplicity of the nightscape, where every scene unfurls quietly, demanding nothing but your peaceful presence. A nightingale begins its lilting song, a solitary voice that rises and falls in gentle, melodious waves. Its call harmonizes with the ongoing serenade of crickets, crafting an orchestra of nature that bathes the night in soothing yet profound music. This is a time for introspection, where each note of birdsong or cricket chirp speaks to the soul in a language of dreams and forgotten memories. Reclining on the bench, you allow yourself to be swaddled in the fragrance of the night air, rich with the promise of spring's eternal renewal. The soil beneath the orchard is laden with life, each grain a microscopic world. Through this night, the earth quietly breathes its secrets, and you become part of its symphony. The mist is now thickening, weaving tendrils through the orchard, softening the shapes of trees and casting them in a ghostly hue. The moon's glow becomes hazy, turning the world into a soft painting of grays and blues, every contour blurred and every shadow elongated. Here, beneath this tranquil nightscape, boundaries disappear, and imagination freely roams. Visions begin to float before your eyes, memories of other nights when dreams gently unfurled under a similar sky. The mist, whispering through the trees, unravels stories of old that cling to every leaf and trunk. The gentle caress of the wind signals the ushering of time, the way night surrenders to dawn, yet holds on to its final moments in a reluctant embrace. Peering into the depths of the brook, the mirror-like surface reflects back the stillness.
It moves slowly, sighing over smooth, dark stones that have whispered among themselves through countless seasons. As the stream flows on its quiet journey, it carries with it the orchard sighs and whispers, secret messages from the land that caress your heart. Reassured by the constancy of these gentle rhythms, your mind begins to drift, thoughts unfurling in a tranquil reverie. Here, among the trees that cradle the celestial mysteries above, you unearth a new appreciation for the profound quiet that only nature, in all her boundlessness, can bestow. It is a realm where no words are needed, where serenity itself becomes a silent language of solace. As the night deepens, you finally rise from your woodland seat, treading quietly as though not to disturb the sleep that comes with sweet nightfall. Each whisper of movement feels part of a greater breath, a song of night and earth, sewn subtly into the canvas of time's passage. You walk with the knowledge that tomorrow this world will awaken, flushed with morning light, yet will hold the night's secrets in its quiet grasp. These evening hours have bestowed upon you a simple yet profound gift, a reminder that the cadence of life is sweetest when measured in its simplest moments, counted in the gentle flow of water and borne gently by the rustle of midnight greenery. And as you step back onto the trail that leads away from the orchard, the story continues to write itself within your heart, etching whispers of peace and the eternal promise of tomorrow.
Release any tension you're holding and let the next story find you right where you are.
In the heart of a sun-kissed valley, nestled between rolling hills, there stood an old but lovingly maintained manor. Its charm was not found in grandiosity, but rather in its inviting grace and age-worn comfort. The manor was renowned not for its interior, but for its generous veranda, where the world seemed to slow, offering solace to those who sought its gentle embrace. Every morning, the veranda woke to the soft melodies of nature, an orchestra conducted by the whispers of dawn. Birds flitted about as if bestowing blessings upon the day, their songs weaving through the cool, fragrant air. A gentle mist lingered on the horizon, catching the first rays of sunlight and refracting them into a symphony of pastels. This was a place where time seemed to forget its haste, lingering instead in dappled sunlight, filtering through a canopy of softly rustling leaves. The veranda itself stretched wide and inviting, crafted from rich, honey-toned wood that creaked softly underfoot. Along its length, wicker chairs lined up like old friends gathered together, cushioned with plump woven pillows that whispered secrets of their own as they shifted with ease. Each chair offered a slightly different view. One might gaze upon the distant hills clad in verdant greenery, another upon the beds of colorful blooms that swayed gently in the garden below. In the softer light of morning, the veranda became a sanctuary for those who wished to immerse themselves in simple pleasures. Miss Abigail, the gentle soul who inhabited the manor, started each day with a quiet ritual. She would fill a porcelain teapot with water and bring it to simmer on a small, well-used stove near the veranda's edge. After steeping in the fragrant aroma of chamomile and honey, her tea would emerge warm, swirling tendrils of steam dancing in the cool air. She would choose a chair, a slow, deliberative choice based on the morning light and her mood, and settle in, cradling her cup gently in her hands, savoring its warmth. Her senses would expand to take in the simple tapestry of life around her. The breeze carried with it scents from the garden, a medley of floral notes interspersed with the earthy tones of soil. Butterflies danced in languid arcs through the air, their vibrant wings tracing delicate paths over the garden's blooms. Sometimes a small, friendly squirrel would scramble along the porch's railing, eyeing Abigail curiously before skittering away with an acorn clasped in its tiny paws. Through all of this, the branches of a stately elder tree leaned over, shading part of the veranda while dappling it with patches of light. Its leaves rustled softly in the breeze, a hushed conversation of the wind, ending only to be picked up again by its leafy brethren across the yard. These whispers brought with them tales carried over the hills of distant cottages and whispering brooks, all conspired to craft a soundscape so serene that the heart could not help but slow to match its gentle pace. Abigail's days passed in a gentle rhythm, each moment filled not with tasks, but with experiences to be cherished. In the late morning, as the sun climbed higher in the sky, she would often wander among her flowers. The garden that sprawled beneath the veranda
was a carefully curated patchwork of color and texture. Roses with velvety petals, shy violets peeking out beneath broad leaves, and the tall, regal sunflowers that trained their faces upon the sun, each contributed to the sensory feast. On one particularly warm day, as Abigail moved slowly through her lovingly tended paths, a soft melody began to play in her mind, unprompted and unrecorded, a symphony inspired by the world around her. The hum of bees joining her, darting efficiently from bloom to bloom, drew her thoughts towards the simplicity of their purpose, a meditation in motion. As afternoon claimed the sky, painting it with a tranquil blend of azure and bright white clouds, Abigail would return to the embrace of the veranda's shade. Lunch on the veranda was a cherished ritual, a simple fare of ripe, freshly plucked tomatoes mingled with the crisp, sweet bell peppers and a scattering of fragrant basil leaves. Occasionally, a sliver of goat cheese nestled amongst these offerings, its tangy creaminess balancing the vegetal sweetness with ease. Afterward, the warmth of the afternoon sun began its descent, drawing golden arcs across the veranda. Abigail would spend these hours leisurely reading from a well-loved book, her fingers tracing the soft, worn pages as the story unfolded quietly against the backdrop of rustling leaves and distant bird calls. The afternoon air filled her lungs with a sense of tranquility that completely enveloped her in peaceful contentment.
As the shadows grew long and the horizon beckoned the evening with hues of amber and dusky rose, the veranda transformed once more. Abigail often set lanterns alight, their gentle glow mingling with the remnants of daylight. The gentle rocking of a wicker chair, accompanied by the delicate tinkling of wind chimes, created a melody of its own as the evening joined in. Even in moonlight, the veranda held its magic. The world around softened, bathed now in silvery light that painted the leaves and blossoms a different shade of beauty. Moonlit paths of silvery white danced across the wooden floorboards, and the distant lull of a midnight breeze came creeping in, bringing with it the sleepy calls of nocturnal creatures as they began their silent dance in the shadows. Here, in this timeless world of gentle sounds and tender lights, there existed an unbreakable peace, an oasis within the chaos of time, where serenity stretched and lilted its way through colored mornings, sunlit afternoons, and moonlit nights, inviting all who sat there to simply breathe, to simply be. As the cool whisper of night descended upon the valley, the manor's inhabitants embraced the tranquility with gratitude. Abigail relished these evening hours when the day's demands softly melted away. The orchestra of nature continued its symphony, albeit in a softer, more soothing key. Crickets began their nightly serenade, their gentle rhythm interlacing with the quiet rustle of leaves stirred by a playful breeze. Under the moon's watchful eye, Abigail often found herself by the ancient swing that hung from the stout branch of the elder tree. As the wooden seat swayed gently back and forth, she would close her eyes, allowing the cool night air to caress her cheeks. The whispers of the wind, carrying secrets untold and stories unspoken. This was the manor's heartbeat, a rhythmic sway that mirrored life's delicate balance between movement and stillness. The swing's soft creak was a lullaby, sung in harmony with the chorus of night, cradling Abigail in the comforting arms of nostalgia. Here, memories came alive as vividly as the constellations painting the night sky. When the stars were generous enough to spill across the heavens, Abigail would gaze upwards, tracing the lines of constellations with an intent that softened her gaze, connecting stories to celestial lights twinkling quietly above. She sometimes thought of the manor as a little boat anchored in this sea of stars, its veranda a helm navigating the peaceful night. It wasn't long before she would retreat indoors, the manor welcoming her with open arms. Candle flames flickered warmly in the windows, casting gentle shadows that danced upon the paneled walls. The scent of lavender filled the hallways, an earthy perfume drawn in from a small bundle nestled within a porcelain vase beside her bed. As Abigail readied herself for sleep, she would carefully tidy away her books, each page a leaf fallen on the surface of a tranquil pool, not disturbing the stillness, but becoming a part of it. She believed that a good book was like a friend, offering comfort in its familiarity with each visit, its words a soft embrace to the soul, slipping under the soft cotton sheets. Abigail sighed contentedly. Her bed was perfectly nestled, with quilts providing a warmth reminiscent of sunlit mornings.
Translucent curtains danced lazily at the window, sighing as they met the nighttime breeze that had cooled after traversing sleepy meadows. Outside, the manor and its veranda stood silent and proud under celestial walk, cradled within the valley's gentle embrace. Each night was a serenade, a peaceful excerpt in a symphony orchestrated by the night itself, unique yet timeless in its lull. Slumber came easily and gently, tugging Abigail into its embrace like a guardian, gently drawing her into a world of dreams. In this realm, she wandered through fields of swaying lavender, their soothing scent enveloping her in layers of undisturbed calm. A river of moonlight guided her path, the ripples singing to her in melting harmony with distant chimes carried on the wind. In dreams, the manor expanded, its veranda reaching out as a bridge across the stars, and time became fluid, a river flowing at its own pace, gentle, unhurried. Abigail found herself walking among stars, gathering moonbeams and stardust as souvenirs of the journey, while constellations shifted and spoke, their light brushing softly against her skin. Finally, as dawn approached, sleep released its tender hold. Abigail awoke gently, the morning light filtering through the curtains, a soft hue that kissed her eyelids until they fluttered open. The world called her back to the rhythm of life and generous anew.
Stretching, she arose with a languid grace, the echoes of slumber still cradling her spirit. The day lay ahead, but within her heart lingered the reverence of night, an unbreakable peace that would accompany her, filling the quiet spaces between moments. As she stepped onto the veranda, the sun began its ascent, painting the hills gold with gentle brushes. The air was fresh with new promises, the mist retreating like a dream that had lingered just a little beyond dawn. Abigail, smiling softly, lifted her teacup to her lips, letting the warmth seep into her being as she opened herself to another day at the manor, a haven of tranquility, time ever slow, a gentle journey not marked by distances, but measured in moments of peace.
And now let yourself settle in a little deeper as we begin our next tale.
Nestled within the gentle embrace of the valley were the Honeycomb Hills, a series of softly rounded peaks that bore the golden hue of ancient honey. The hills undulated like a vast, slumbering creature, their sides dimpled and pocked with shadowy hollows that, from afar, gave them their sweet, bee-inspired name. On a warm, late afternoon, as the sun leaned lazily toward the western horizon, the hills were bathed in hues of caramel and amber, making them glow with an inviting warmth. The air around the Honeycomb Hills carried a gentle perfume, the mingling of wild thyme, blossoming broom, and the faintest hint of honey lingering on a soft, drifting breeze. It whispered through the grass, rustling the leaves of solitary oaks that crowned the hills, their branches casting delicate patterns upon the ground below. The trees stood like silent old sentinels, their bark rugged and deeply etched by time, embracing the sun with limbs that spread wide and welcoming. As you meandered along a path that wound through this blissful landscape, the gravel underfoot crunched softly, a gentle rhythm to match your relaxed pace. The path wended its way through clusters of flowering heather, their deep purple blooms offering bursts of vibrant color amid the earth-toned surroundings. Bumblebees, heavy with pollen, hovered lazily from flower to flower, their low hum a constant, comforting presence. Every now and then you pause to breathe deeply, filling your lungs with the sweet, herbaceous air, your senses tuned to the gentle symphony around you. Nearby, a small brook babbled over smooth, rounded stones, its cool waters glistening in the dappled sunlight that danced through the canopy overhead. The brook's melody was a companion to birdsong, sporadic trills and whistles from unseen feathered friends hidden amongst branches. The path led you upwards, parting ways with the brook, and you began a gentle incline toward the crest of one of the hills. With each step, the world unfurled a little further before your eyes, offering glimpses of distant vistas obscured until now. Upon reaching the top, you stopped to take in the surrounding panorama. The Honeycomb Hills rolled away beneath you, each swell and dip suffused with the soft glow of the setting sun. The landscape spread out like a painter's canvas, a masterpiece of greens and golds fashioned by nature herself. Below, in the valley's gentle curve, nestled a small stone cottage. Its thatched roof was a rusty shade of brown, worn into the landscape as something organic, living alongside the hills. The chimney spouted a thin wisp of smoke that curled and drifted lazily across the sky, an invitation of warmth and hospitality. Deciding to pay this quaint abode a visit, you descended from the hilltop,
moving through clumps of soft tussock grasses that whispered against your ankles. As you neared the cottage, the scent of baking bread reached you, a homey, comforting aroma that invited warmth into the cool evening air. Approaching the cottage, you noticed a path bordered by lavender bushes, their silvery green leaves whispering as you brushed past. The scent, earthy and soothing, mingled with the fragrance of the baking bread, creating a heady combination that wrapped around you like a soft shawl. The wooden door of the cottage stood ajar, creaking gently on its hinges, a welcoming gesture that needed no words. Within, the soft golden light of a hearth flickered, casting a warm glow across a simple room. An old rocking chair swayed gently to an invisible rhythm by the fireside, while a plump tabby cat sprawled nearby, its eyes half closed in a state of perfect bliss. A friendly face appeared from an adjoining room, a kind old woman, her smile as warm as the hearth itself. She gestured for you to enter, her eyes sparkling with the delight of company. Come, rest your feet, she said softly, her voice as soothing as the afternoon breeze. The hills are delightful, but they can tire even the happiest of wanderers. Gratefully, you accepted the unspoken invitation. The room was cozy, its walls lined with shelves brimming with books, their spines a tapestry of colors, aged and weathered. The rich scent of old paper mingled with the smell of the fresh loaf cooling on a nearby windowsill. As you settled into an armchair, the woman poured a steaming cup of chamomile tea, its gentle floral notes rising with the steam. The simple pleasure of warmth and kindness filled the room, weaving a tapestry of peace and contentment. She told you stories of the Honeycomb Hills, her voice weaving tales as ancient as the stones themselves. Her words meandered through the ages, speaking of times when the hills were lakes, swaying with rushes and reeds, home to great unseen creatures that sang moonlit songs no human ear had heard. As her voice gently drifted into a comforting lull, you closed your eyes, the sounds of the world outside merging into a harmonious lullaby.
the rustling of evening breezes, shuffled leaves in the trees, the soft scratch of a branch brushing against the window, and the rhythmic breathing of the old woman who now sat with a half-knitted shawl in her lap. Time seemed to slow within the embrace of the cottage, each moment stretching out like a deep, relaxed breath. The fire crackled softly, and the shadows it cast slowly crept along the wooden floor, marking the passage of the evening. After some time, the woman, noticing the gentle pull of slumber upon you, offered a quiet lullaby. Her voice, a soothing melody that seemed to anchor the spirit as it drifted through the spaciousness of dreams. Her song, wordless and serene, danced softly through the room, an oral embrace knit together by the gentle fervor of her care. Eventually, your senses sank into the warmth, the comfort, a soft sigh escaping as you yielded to the deepening caress of sleep. Yet before the velvet of night fully drew over your consciousness, images danced behind your resting eyes. The hills basked in the glow of a slowly fading sun, the brook tracing its cool fingers over smooth stones, the scent of lavender spiraling around you. And with these images nestled in your mind, peace settled completely. The tranquility of the Honeycomb Hills, a sanctuary untouched by time and change, cocooning you gently with its ceaseless, honeyed whisperings until all that remained was the gentle rise and fall of your breath, intertwined with the eternal sigh of the world around. By the time morning light began to sprinkle its first tentative nuances upon the land, the Honeycomb Hills had woven their spell as softly as a lover's caress, a harmony of nature and memory that would linger long in your heart, waiting, whispering like a sweet and simple call from another time. You awoke gradually to the soft rustle of curtains swaying with the breeze. The room smelled of morning, of new beginnings, cloaked in the warmth of fresh bread and tea simmering on the stove. The old woman, kind as always, offered a farewell that felt more like a blessing, her words wrapping around you like an embrace long remembered. Stepping out into the light of the new day, you felt rejuvenated. Each step down the
lavender-lined path, an echo of warmth tugging at your senses. The Honeycomb Hills, now bathed in the soft light of early dawn, whispered their gentle farewell as you continued your journey, a peaceful presence forever in your heart. The early morning air was crisp and invigorating, the freshness of it filling your lungs and clearing your mind. Dew glistened on the grass, each droplet catching the sun's first rays, turning the landscape into a field of twinkling gems. Birds began their morning songs, their melodies weaving through the tapestry of soft rustles and trills that composed the symphony of dawn. As you walked away from the cottage, the gentle crunch of gravel underfoot accompanied your steps, a soothing rhythm that matched the gentle beat of your heart. Each breath was infused with the lingering scents of lavender and thyme, mingling with the clean, earthy aroma of the damp earth beneath you. Ascending a small rise, you pause to watch a family of rabbits nibbling on the tender shoots of grass, their soft fur ruffled by the light morning breeze. Their playful antics brought a smile to your lips, and their presence spoke of the untouched peace of this hidden sanctuary, where nature's creatures lived, untroubled by the maladies of the world. In the distance, a golden mist hovered over a small grove of slender birch trees, their white bark standing out starkly against the vibrant green of the foliage. The mist gently wrapped around their trunks, transforming the scene into something almost ethereal, like a glimpse into a world softly removed from reality. Continuing your journey, you passed beneath their whispering leaves, the sun filtering through in dappled streams of light that warmed your skin. The path led you alongside a series of quiet ponds, each one a mirror reflecting the clarity of the sky above, dotted occasionally with the slow concentric circles of a fish breaking the surface. You took a moment to rest beside one of these tranquil waters, your fingers trailing absent-mindedly through the cool liquid that reflected your face back to you with a gentle shimmer.
The sound of croaking frogs and the occasional splash of a leaping fish created a symphony of calm and continuity, knitting you into the fabric of this serene landscape. Near the water's edge, a pair of dragonflies danced, their slender bodies gleaming in iridescent hues as they wove intricate patterns in the air. Their effortless grace and delicate beauty felt like a promise that life, in all its forms, was a wondrous thing to behold and cherish. After a leisurely stretch beside the pond, where time seemed to flow slower than the current of the brook, your senses guided you back onto the path. With each step, the fragrant chorus of wild chamomile edged your way, its sweet perfume lifting with the gentle touch of the breeze. As the hills rolled away behind you, you felt an enduring connection to this place, a link forged through shared peace and beauty. The memories, as vivid and mellow as the colors of the setting sun that accompanied your arrival, would remain with you always, a soothing reservoir to draw upon in later days. Finally, as the path led you toward the edges of this hidden realm, you turned for one last glimpse. The Honeycomb Hills were shrouded now in the golden light of morning, each contour softened in the glow, their presence gentle and enduring, a steadfast reminder of the quiet strength and beauty found in nature's embrace. With the road unfurling before you, inviting new adventures, you carried forward the tranquil spirit of the hills. The valley released you gently, and as you walked on, your heart swelled with gratitude. The memories of this place, a warm, eternal whisper that would guide your steps and ease your soul wherever you wandered next.
Sweet dreams, everyone. Rest well, and we'll be here whenever you need us again.